I am going to book Bring Your Guns in a week's time where I'm recording this video, and I wanted to talk you through my predictions for the top lists. So I'm not going to do a full list review of all the lists for book, but I am going to talk you through a couple of the lists that I think will do really well. So that's what I'm doing now, and let's go and see. So this is David's list for book Bring Your Guns. And it is, let me see if I can enhance it a little bit so you guys can see better. There we go. So it's an American list, and he's bringing an inexperienced second lieutenant. He's bringing veteran engineers, 5-man units with flamethrowers. So he's buffed them up a little bit, making them a little bit more survivable. You could buy them regular and save the points if you wanted to, and he's buying 3 of these. This pushes him into what I would call barbecue territory, with 3 or more flamers in a list. Each of these, of course, needs some transport. He also brings 2 Spahi units, 7 men, BAR, veteran, recon troops, so they have forward deployment and they have some sort of special ability to detect enemy troops, I think. These will be good push units. You can push them up early on. I don't think necessarily that you should, because they're skirmishers in their build. I can't remember. Maybe they have tough fighter as well, but they're not dedicated assaulters. They are a push unit more than an assault unit. Inexperienced medium mortar, 3 men. A sniper team, regular, 2 men. They've got pistols as well. A bazooka team, 114mm rocket launcher with 4 guys. That's a multi-rocket launcher here. A recon jeep with MMG and recce. The Darker Stewart with LMGs and recce as well. The American Darker Stewart is just a little bit better than everyone else's because it has recce. That is really nice. And then 1, 2, 3 weasels. They are open topped. They basically a bread and carrier. 5-man transport capacity, I think. Maybe it's 6. Very comparable to a Dodge truck, but they have recce. They are one of the few transport options that have recce. That is what makes this list so good. That you could potentially recce away if you get shot at when you're pushing your engineers up. And a jeep for the bazooka team. So for me, this list is definitely in the running to finishing up in the top. It's a 3.5 to a 4 list. Really strong choices, really strong infantry here, very survivable as well. So that was the first one. That was for David. Now, my number 5, that would be Anas, who I talked a little bit about when I introduced the meta here. Anas is a okay-ish, goody, medium player, good to medium player, who is bringing a very strong list. 15 order dice, 1,100 points. 1,100 points, sorry, not 1,000 and 1,100. 1,100 points. Brits. He's bringing a second lieutenant with extra men. Gurkha infantry with an SMG on the NCO. 8-man units, just the way I run them as well. Free forward artillery observer, another Gurkha section, so that's 3 Gurkha sections. And Royal Engineers and a regular section with an SMG as well. The engineers are veterans, making them survivable. 5-man section, of course, perfect for a brain carrier. Up and Adam as the national characteristic, which means that his 8-man Gurkha unit will be assaulting all the time. This is a very dangerous build that I have run many times and have had great success with. Medium mortar, regular with a spotter. Maybe not needed, but nice to have. Sniper team, veteran. again, very survivable. Veteran Pier team, also survivable. 6-pounder, this is the only thing that I think is slightly underwhelming, but I know Anders, he does like his AT guns for some reason. So it is a 5+ medium anti-tank gun. Um, yeah, okay, maybe. I typically don't think it's worth it, but we will see some heavier tanks, and the Brits do struggle a little bit for anti-tank capabilities. So the British Airborne Recce Jeep, very cool, very cool. Double MGs, 45 points for 10 shots, brilliant. Double Bren carriers, one with the regulars in it and one with the engineers in it. Very, very dangerous. I think if I were to optimize this list a little bit, I would cut out the 6-pounder, get a 25-pounder instead, and then push the veteran engineers down to regular, and then buy this infantry squad as an engineer squad instead. And by the way, just so you notice, you've made a mistake on us. There is no room in your Bren carrier for the regulars because you've got 6 men in the unit. Yeah, that sucks. Anyways, he can still run them around on foot and then push his Pied into the Bren carrier here. And a Steward. So for me, this is a 3.54, more of a 4 list. There is a little bit of I question the choice of the 6-pounder. I have to add, but otherwise it is very, very, very strong, this list. So, yeah, that is it from Anas. Now, the next on my list, who would be this, I'm predicting would be number 4. That would be Benny. Oh, sorry. Benny is known as possibly the best list builder in Denmark, and he's been on a ride of trying to build fairly low orderized lists for the Soviets. So this is his list. It has 1096 points, so just enough for another submachine gun somewhere. Maybe. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a 4-point mule. Could be, actually. It's got 15 order dice, a little low, but not massively so. Inexperienced second lieutenant with an extra man. And then assault engineers, double assault engineers. So this is a Death Star army build, right? It's got 2 9-man assault engineers with body armor, with submachine guns. These are very, very, very dangerous. Notice though that he hasn't bought flamethrowers for them. So they're just in body armor with submachine guns and Panzerfausts. Still extremely dangerous. Come at them at your own cost. The Commissar here has an extra infantry model, inexperienced again. He's bought an artillery observer. This is something that he has been known to do on occasion, although none of us think it's worth it. He still believes it is. A free rifle squad, medium mortar team, inexperienced dog mines, 1, 2, inexperienced 2-man squads, light howitzer, BA-20, and Stuart light tank, and some trucks for his Death Stars. For me, this is an army that can move up, but will against some opponents struggle if he gets pinned down and can't move, which could happen. So this is a 3.5, I think, for me. We have yet to see Death Stars win tournaments, so I think there will be some games that Benny is going to lose, but he is a very strong player, and this is not a bad list. So we're getting into my top 3. In third place, I have Danny van der Rohe. Right. Danny is a top European player. He is the captain of the Dutch WTC team, and he has an American reinforced platoon, very Danny-like. I've seen a lot of his lists by now, and it's very like something that I would expect him to play. He's got 15 order dice, 1100 points. He brings a second lieutenant, inexperienced, and then a couple of different units here. We have a regular Marine squad with a couple of pistols thrown in the mix, BARs, rifles. So, and it's a quite large squad, isn't it? It's a 9-man unit, so it's dangerous and it's a good skirmish squad at the same time. He brings 2 veteran engineers with flamethrower and BARs. He often does this so that his engineers can skirmish as well if he needs them to. If the flamethrower is not massively useful, I've even seen him start these engineers on foot. So there will be times where he does something other than just throw them in a dodge and throw them at the enemy. So all of this can skirmish. Medium mortar with a spotter, sniper, regular. Peleliu US Marine Assault Squad. This has 2 rifles and double flamethrowers. So again, this turns it into sort of a flamer barbecue list because that's 4 flamethrowers, although it's only 3 units that actually have them. A bazooka team, US War Dog team. I don't understand these. My friend Daniel has been trying to sell them to me for ages. I don't think they're worth it, but we shall see. I know Danny plays with it quite often. It's a cheap order dice, if nothing else. 140 mil. Again, a multi-rocket launcher, horse-drawn limber for that. A Hellcat. Again, trying to make me eat my words about the Hellcat. I love it. I think especially maybe in the meta going into Bring Your Guns, where we are expecting to see more heavy tanks because it's single platoon and high in points. I think the Hellcat could do well, but we shall see. He does have enough anti-infantry anyway. So a Weasel. Again, this Weasel is brilliant. It's got 5-man transport capacity. It's open topped. It's got recce and turn on the spot, and it's 7+. Brilliant, really brilliant. And 2 dodges for his engineers if they're not going in the Weasel. Right. Lovely. I don't think they are going in the Weasel though, because look, I think the Pelelius are going into the Weasel because they have a 5-man capacity, 5-man size, whereas these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-man size. Right. So they are good for the dodges, and you could even throw in a lieutenant if you wanted to. So that was Danny, 3rd place. In my 2nd place, I have Michael Christensen of the Danish WTC team. Here we go. This is his list. This is again something he's been playing around with for a while. He took a very similar list to World Open War and did okay. I think he is on his game now with it. 15 order dice, 1100 points. Soviets. He's bringing a junior lieutenant. Oh, and by the way, this is the forward deployment build that I've been talking a little bit about. This list is his forward deployment build. Then he brings scouts, 7-man submachine guns veterans. These are tough guys. 7 men deploying on the center line in area terrain on an objective. They're going to be very difficult to shift. Very, very difficult. And he boosts well, he brings a free rifle squad, a medium mortar inexperienced sniper team, flamethrower team, all the small teams. And then here comes the kicker. 2 tank hunter teams of 4 men with submachine guns veterans. So doubled up. That is 5 forward deployers, 6 if you count the sniper. That is insanely good. He is dominating the center of the board very early on. And what he needs to do then is he needs to survive until his reserves start coming into play. And then he needs to give a lot of pins to the enemy as they approach. The tank hunters, of course, with the Panzerfaust, will keep enemy armor at bay as well. A dog mine team, just because why not? And it's got 3 men, veteran, again submachine guns, so they are very survivable. Medium howitzer, regular, BA-20 to throw up as in reserve to push up against where the enemy is pressing him. That BA-20 can erase units. A Stuart light tank and a jeep for the dog team. Very, very hard build. It's got the reserves. It's got the indirect firing from the howitzer and the mortar. It's got the flamethrower that it can throw up in that jeep if it doesn't want to throw up the dogs for the extra range to the dogs. It's got all the elements here to do really well, and I think that Michael has the and he has the skill, he has the training, and he has the list here. I think he can do well. I think he'll come in second place. And in first place for me is this list. This is a 4 list, if not better, from Michael Fee. Michael Fee is also on the Danish WTC team. He is the one who introduced me to bold action, and the one player with whom I have a less than 50% average against. Michael Fee usually beats me. Not all the time. It's something like, I'd like to say 53% in his favor or something like that, but it's around there. So he brings 15 order dice, 1,999 points, 1,099 points. And it's his Polish list. Veterans, veteran lancers, that is it. Inexperienced lieutenant, on foot, I guess, because he hasn't spent the points, has he? Well, yeah, oh, he has, here, HQ section, on a horse. And then here we have a large unit, 10-man veterans, lancers. Here we have 8-man and an 8-man and an 8-man, all of them veterans. And then finally an 8-man regular unit as well. I think he simply didn't have the points for this last unit. The large unit, the 10-man lancers, that's 20 hits in close combat. Tough fighter, all of them. And if he gets to charge you, he'll erase any infantry unit in the game. Even my 20-man blob pistolero unit will just poof, be gone. That is insanely good, insanely strong, very, very strong. And because they have escape moves, if anything threatening, like a Daka Steward, moves up to them, they'll just move away. The rest of the time, a good player will know how to place these so that you're wasting your shots trying to kill them, and then he charges you and kills you. He brings an inexperienced medium machine gun team. He needed the points, and frankly, he needed that small team to go on to objectives or into houses. Medium mortar, inexperienced marksman, that's a one-man sniper. Anti-tank rifle team, regular. A Bofors 40mm, that's a heavy automatic cannon. It is there to hunt stewards or to lock down lanes of fire so that stewards don't approach, because stewards is the main worry that he has. Horse-drawn limber, regular. TKS Tankette, the TKS is just amazing. It's an amazing little piece. It's so small that you can hide it behind anything. And at the same time, it's got Recce and it's got a light autocannon. Perfect little tank hunter. It's really, really good. A Vickers E-type light tank in order to spend the points. At this point, he's just spending points, right? He needs to get more order dice into his list, so he takes whatever. The Vickers is not amazing in any sense of the word. It's a 7+. It's got an MMG and a light AT gun. Not brilliant. And a car for his, yeah, what will he put in that car? I think the anti-tank rifle team, maybe? Could be. Right. So this is the list that I think will win at Bring Your Guns. A really great list in the hands of a capable and experienced cavalry player. I think we might see the Polish win this round, but we shall see soon because it is coming up very soon. I need to I need to get a few practice games in with my partisans that I'm bringing, and because I'm very out of practice with them. Just build the army. I still need to paint the last few bits before it's actually done. And yeah, but we shall see. Cheers.